Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Rita, and that's Aaron Hilljack from Kentucky.
Okay, didn't know I was, but
Redneck
I am.
hillbilly.
My family is from Kentucky, though, but I'm not a hilljack.
I just love making fun of him. Come on, tell us what
I'm
we're
more of a
smoking
city
tonight.
boy. For one.
Tell us what
All
we're
right,
smoking
tonight we are smoking something called. Without my glasses, it's hard for me to read.
Let me read it.
No, I'm kidding. I'm having fun. Am I not allowed to have fun? So, anyways, we're smoking.
Hold on, it's got to come into view.
It's not coming into view. You can see where it says Churchill.
Right
there. Romeo, Julieta, Desde. What's the year? I can't read it.
Romeo and Juliet, Desde 1875, and it is, if you didn't notice, is a Churchill.
Oh, and Habana Cuba.
And it's a Habana Cuba. Romeo and Julieta, yes.
So I'm firing yours up tonight because you don't want to end up risking malfunction, a user malfunction. Hey, you better be ready to grab this.
I will, I promise. And while he's lighting this...
smell mine.
Oh, yes. Smelling Aaron's for a second. I'm picking up heavy notes of earth scent. What did you pick up?
I haven't picked up yet. Once I have yours lit, I'll smell. There's yours. You're okay.
Sí, Hincho en Cuba.
Smells rather earthy, I'd say. The room note of your cigar is interfering a little. It's strong. But it's very nice. And the band on mine broke, but it was on there. So...
Your light? Talk about the others?
No.
I got the box out.
We go through this a lot. So, first of all, we want to start really by saying thank you very much to some very good friends of ours who gave us some, and we appreciate it greatly. You know who you are, and these are going to be gone very soon. They're very good so far. We also have a nice little stash pile to be smoking in the near future. We've got H. Upman's from Habana. We've got more Romeos. They were tubos, the minis. We have Macanudo or Monte Cristo number 2s, and over here we have some punches, also made in Cuba. So, but we will have those gone in like 5 days. It's best to cherish them and enjoy them.
Yes, thank you to our wonderful friends out there. We appreciate this.
And we trust them very much when they said that they're really from Cuba. And so I have no reason to doubt them. And I know there's a lot of knockoffs out there, but these seem legit. In fact, I have a feeling that our friend who supposedly sent us Monte Cristo number 2s didn't send us number 2s. But
the band's a little different.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, these bands look a little smaller, in my opinion, than most of the bands.
The bonds look better, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they are smaller bands.
Anyways, these are really, really good. You know, I'm looking forward to eventually having my wrappers laminated and put on my door.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really fine cigar. What do you pick up?
So far I'm kind of picking up some toasty almonds and some earthy notes and cocoa, I think.
The reason I was doing it is there's a couple of construction errors on mine, but
I was trying to tell you that.
But it doesn't matter because it is a good, tasty cigar.
It's this isn't our first time having a Cuban either, so but for those who, I was just talking to a friend tonight about it. He believes in the mythos that like Cuban cigars are like the best cigars in the world and will give you this euphoric feeling that will make you feel like you're floating. They are really nice because, well, there is all that mystique around them and the kind of feeling of, wow, this is something no one could really have for so long. And so there is that feeling of like some type of superiority in the cigar. But in the two that I've had before, which were both very excellent, I wouldn't have said that they were much different than anything I've ever smoked here. But the flavors are so far a little finer in this than I've had in any other Romeo.
I'm really, really cherishing this. This is something that, you know, any male or female like myself would just cherish because, you know, in the world, and me and Aaron has never talked about this, but think of how many people out there in the world that are in America that can truly get many of these or even get to try one in their lifetime.
Well, they are legal now.
I was told a long time ago.
The only thing is you can only bring back a certain dollar amount. You may gift them to friends. Apparently, you cannot sell them. There are certain places apparently that can sell them, but by like single stick only.
At $400, $500.
It's not that expensive anymore. They're like $10 for the import fee and then the cigar. So they're oftentimes like $30.
Well, I wanted to say in America in my entire
I know the Siglo 6 was $50, dear.
I was going to say, dear, that how many people in America that truly are cigar smokers get their hands on a Cuban? I mean, look at the one
Probably
woman.
quite a few.
Look at the one woman who had a Cuban. She grinded it up, put it in her pipe.
That was kind of, I wouldn't have done that. I have tried to actually smoke a cigar butt out of a pipe, and it was still lit. I just couldn't hold it anymore, so I dropped it in the end of my pipe and figured I could just puff it down. No, the smoke was just way too nasty. I had to tap it out of my pipe. It does not go well in a pipe.
Unless you buy those cigar blends, so.
I'd say there's something in here that causes like salivation, and most cigars that I have, usually it's very dry on me. It's still dry in the back of the throat, but the rest of my mouth is not getting dry at all from this so far. And that I'm really liking.
I'm picking up because usually with the Romeos that I've smoked different things, you know, different blends of Romeo, but in my opinion, I'm picking up hints of cocoa in it and dark chocolate, I think.
This is very pleasing. It's a very complex cigar.
However, I just got a hangnail, and I'm wondering why when I've been...
Hangnails will happen sometimes because part of the wrapper is too moist, where it's unevenly moist from the rest of it. They can also end up happening when it's packed too firmly against that side, like you have a ridge. Like this might be packed really tight, but the rest of it around isn't, so you'll end up with a hangnail on both sides. Or it can end up being loosely packed on those ends, and then you can end up with like a canoe on both ends. But usually it's like half the cigar, just one little line, and it's either, you know, really tight or... And this seems to be a very well constructed cigar. I really can't take much fault with it. I do see seams. It's not like a Rolex where, Cuban cigars have no seams and all other cigars do. I hear people talk about that, how they're so perfectly rolled that you can't see a seam. That's not entirely true, but I will say this. I see very little veins from the leaf. They do not stick out. There are no bulges. This is a beautifully wrapped cigar, in my opinion.
Yes. So, what do you say?
Well, I guess we'll see you at about a third of the way in. I do think this might smoke a little fast for me, but we'll find out all in due time.
Yep.
And we started this at about 6:50, 6:55 roughly. So
There you have it. Later. Welcome back. We're about the third. Can I see? Oh, and I got a massive run going for once.
yeah, we've gotten done with the first third, getting into the second third now. I will say that I've noticed a few little runs like I'm having there. That's kind of somewhat typical for this so far. But we are 45 minutes in, and we're just now hitting the second third, which is pretty impressive, especially... Well, Churchill seem not to burn as long as I usually like them to. They look long, but they tend not to burn quite as long as I
I'm
like.
not complaining about this.
This is burning very nicely for the most part. Even with the little construction errors, it's not enough to seem like you're really losing anything, and they're minor. But the flavors are very good in this.
Oh yeah, the flavor is just remarkable in this.
And it's got some minor leathery notes that I'm picking up.
I just want to say,
some sweetness of sorts.
and I'm not going to give names, but...
I'm sorry, I'm trying to analyze the smoke, and you cut me off.
Fine, continue.
Okay. There's something a little herby about it, but I definitely like these flavors so far. This is totally different than any Romeo I've ever smoked.
Exactly.
That's for certain. But that's probably because the two companies are not even related. As we found out once doing a little research, the company that owns the name, General Cigars, bought the name essentially stole the name as soon as the Cuban embargo was came about. They basically bought up all the names of all the Cuban cigar manufacturers and started producing with those names to try to keep people loyal. You're still getting the cigars you were getting before, but now there are cigars.
They copyrighted them, and that's not including, but not limited to Altatus as well, who does some of the other,
Well, they weren't the original company to do that. It was one other. It was like, now it's like Swedish something.
Oh, yeah.
Geez, he just sent you something.
I know, is that something? Anyways, I wanted to say thanks to our friends who sent us the cigars. We're not going to give names again, but they emailed us saying that they have the H. Upmans tonight.
Yeah, those are kind of small smokes, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've always wanted to try a Cuban H. Upman. For some reason, that's like my pinnacle cigar from them, from Cuba.
I also wanted to say our friends who sent us the cigars have told us a secret, and I'm not giving names, but apparently they'll be loading up some videos soon so me and Aaron can watch them.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, Rita, the flavors you're picking up, there's something buttery too.
Yeah, I'm picking up a creamy butteriness, like smoking a Connecticut, but the flavors are just a really good flavor, and it's like I'm picking up cocoa and chocolate, and this is not like in America where, you buy a cigar and it's a pepper bomb. I don't even pick up any pepper in this.
No, this is smooth.
This is like one of the smoothest cigars I've ever smoked.
And I hate using the word buttery, but for once, this actually kind of almost tastes like there could be margarine within the cigar.
Let's just say the cigar that I compare to a Cuban's is the Siglo 6 Cohibas, which were very, very fine, smooth cigars. And I regret not doing a review on it.
And I think we did, but it was on notes. One thing, though, is that I usually very dislike Romeo cigars. For some reason, they just don't sit right with me. I don't like their price points, and I don't think they're worth their money. This thing's fantastic. I actually kind of wish I knew how much it was, but it doesn't really matter. If you're interested, I'm sure you can look up the Romeo Y Julieta Churchill, Cuba, Desde 1875 or whatever it is, and Churchill. I'm sure you'll find it and could probably find a price.
Let's see. You want me to look it up?
Well, we could do that for the next third. That way you don't have to sit and wait while we look it up.
You can gab it up, a gap for
No, I don't really want to gab it up. All right, I guess I'm going to have to gab it up. Why? Not and. Oh, whatever. Gee, Churchill. Go ahead and click the thing up. Yeah. There. Next one down. Up. There. There's a Canadian cigar company that's got them too. Let's see. This one for the Churchill, it's supposedly $17 for a Churchill.
Well, is that English or Canadian?
Oh, wait. No. 1 unit, $17. Oh yeah, one unit is $17. The company here is where? TopCubans.com. Where are they located? Is there a
hold on.
Info and fact?
Yeah, info and fact.
Or about us. It's interesting. I can't tell. Oh, it's based in Geneva, Switzerland. So if you ordered them from this place in Geneva, Switzerland, they'd be $17 a stick. And I think that's U.S. currency. Everything in here seems to... Yeah, it says U.S. dollars. So, okay, $17 a stick for these, roughly. And that fits in our price range of what we smoked the last couple nights. And this is far better than... Well, it ranks with the Armada, definitely, in the flavor. And worth the money. Especially given the fact that this is a Cuban. It's definitely worth the money.
And I'd like to say,
because most people want to know what a Cuban's like, and there is all that mystique around it, and this is a very nice one, and it's not too horribly priced like some I've seen.
I would like to say, for the record, because our friends got them, certain people got them, and, we got them from them, certain people, think, are second-class citizens, or, badmouth us for whatever reason. Let me just say, you can badmouth us, but these are true Cubans.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who are watching and thinking these are illegal, it wasn't too long ago that there was a partial lift on the Cuban trade embargo. And now countries that sell these, if you go to them, you can bring back, last I'd heard it was like $100 or $110 worth into the country. You could give them away, but you may not sell them. And I think there's 1 or 2 little stores or whatever throughout the country that have the right to sell them. But they've had to apply for some special license. I know you can travel to Cuba and buy them there yourself. Again, you have to have reason to go to Cuba. They won't just let you go to Cuba right now.
I just want to say this also has a thick, thick ash.
I don't see it as the ash is too thick, but I do like the smoke. Every once in a while, it seems to get a little weak, and there's not that big of a cloud, but usually there's a nice thick cloud with this. So I would say there's some inconsistencies in it, but nothing to complain about.
So, shall we wait for the
Yes, we will see you now on the final third, which will probably take us another hour, because right now we've hit the 1 hour mark.
Yep, later. For you, it's a hop, skip, and a jump. For us, it's a while. Welcome back, everyone.
We're now in the final third here, and I'm going to go first with the flavors. One of the things that I'm noticing about this is a very interesting kind of mintish flavor, like fresh mint, not like peppermint or spearmint, but fresh mint. And it's still got that smooth flow to it. It's still burning really slow. We're at 2 hours into this cigar already, almost to the dot right now. And I gotta say that this is burning fantastically. And if you can get one for the $17 American, I would recommend getting one. If you went to
$17 US.
yeah, which means that if you went out of country and bought 5 of these, that would probably be what you could bring back. That's almost $100, minus 15. So it'd be like $85. You'd be hard pressed to fit another Cuban in there for 15, I think. But this is a very, very good stick. It's not sick. And I'm very pleased with it. It is a cigar I would buy if I could get it again. So, big thank you to our friends who shipped these to us. We greatly appreciate it. Again, you know who you are. And on top of that, I would give this at least a 9.5, only because of the inability to get these when I want to. That's the only reason I'll take 0.5 off, but it would be a 10 otherwise. So,
I agree with Aaron's statement, 9.5. However, I gotta say it's smooth. It smokes like a dream. It's very smooth, like he said. I'm picking up hints of mint. I'm also picking up a little bit hints of parsley in it. But it is just a really unique cigar. It's something that you wouldn't find, flavor-wise, in my opinion, in the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Honduras.
well, I've had at least one other cigar out of probably 250 cigars I've tried that had a mintish flavor to it, but I do not recall what that is right now.
It better not be the Java Mint.
No. The Java Mint tasted like peppermint. You know, it was totally different. It was almost gross.
And then it burned up to a point where then you didn't taste the mint, or you were tasting crap. It's like the Cuba. It hits 2/3 sweetness, and then afterwards...
The Java Mint was nice for about 4 puffs or so, and then it started to get icky. And I just couldn't smoke any more of it. Really.
Well,
but I did, because I didn't want to waste the money.
See, exactly, and I'm not going to
We
buy...
have only thrown out 1 stick each that we have ever lit up without making it to at least the 2/3 of the way into it. That was the stick that Rita and me took to a park. It was a Cigar International own. I think it was just called Habana or whatever, and it had a little Cuban flag on it, and no names or words or anything. And when Rita fired hers up, it split all the way down the center, straight to the base of the stick, and there was nothing you could do to fix it. And mine was so tough of a draw, I went to poke it, and the whole thing just kind of blew up. So we just threw the cigars out. Never had that problem with
part
any
of
other.
that? Po'
That was
Boy
one
two?
of the Po' Boy samplers. It was either Po' Boy 1 or 2. We got them
Two.
both at the
There was
same
2
time.
and 3.
I know. Oh, 2 or 3. It was either the Po' Boy 2 or Po' Boy 3. We bought both of those. That was actually a big mistake. I've had cheaper cigars where you get a nice bundle of like 30 cigars for about the same price that are much finer cigars. So
Holtz.
yeah, Holtz has a very good cheapo sampler.
The Buzzard's Banquet.
Another thing I'm going to say about this is I asked once in video if anybody knew anything about why a cigar butt, the end of it, would end up cold and no heat. Well, this cigar has the same thing, and I figure it's some type of heat transference. But anyways, the butt of this actually is colder than room temperature. And it's cooling the smoke as I take a puff, which is really nice. And I wish more cigars would do that. And I don't know if that was intentional or if it's just something about the room temperature, humidity, the humidity of the cigar, the heat of the smoke. I don't know. That's a real scientific question, and I'm not sure if I'm definitely not qualified to answer it. So if anybody knows the answer, please share it with us.
I am not a doctor of cigars, but a friend of mine, Jesse Girl, said that we are cigar aficionados. I don't think we are.
Well, we know more than a lot of people, and that's for sure. As I said, I've smoked at least
advanced user of cigar smoking.
I've smoked at least 250 cigars now.
Me?
And you've smoked about the same number, roughly, in different types. I've probably smoked a total of like 400 or 450 cigars so far. I have average one a day of some sort, but I'm talking just totally unique onto itself. Like the Cohiba Red Dot, the Cohiba Nicaragua, the Cohiba Black Label.
We're talking about cigar brands like Camacho's his favorite, and he's tried most of the
I've tried
Camacho
the Ecuador, the Triple Maduro, the Ditka, the Silver Banded Ditka, the Signature, I think it is. I've tried that BGM, which is also from them. I've tried the Criollo and the Barrel Age. So I've smoked at least 6 different Camachos. No, I haven't had the Red Label one yet, or the Diplomat, but we've also tried, like
the Corojos, the one that's
the Corojo. We've tried the just for another example, is we've tried the Nub Camacho, the Nub Habano, the Nub Habano Squared, the Nub Dub or Double Maduro, the Nub Maduro, the Nub Connecticut, the Nub Sumatra, and that's just showing. Once we get into it, we've tried a lot of some of the well-known brands out there. So
I've only smoked one Padron.
And I've never smoked a Padron.
And I've smoked like 3 Arturo Fuentes, and in my opinion, they were overhyped. But we're not talking about that in general.
And I've smoked like 2 Perdomos, I think, and 1 Padilla or something like that. So there are brands out there I really just have not gotten to play around with. I've smoked maybe 10, 12 different types of Gurkhas.
So
by the end of this month, I'll have tried almost everything from Diesel. Ave Maria, I've tried the regular Ave Marias and the Divinas, but I've yet to try the Reconquista and the Immaculata.
Immaculata, right.
There's some acids I haven't tried. In fact, the only acid I've tried to this point is Cuba Cuba, and that's because all the other ones look so small.
Blondie or Toast?
Haven't tried them yet.
Well, what was the other one you said it tasted like a Cuba Cuba? The Blondie?
Oh, yeah, that was the Blondie. So, yeah, I've tried the Blondie and the Cuba Cuba, but I really want to try the Deep Dish and the one, and there's that green tea one or whatever, but anyways, one day I'll try even more. I've never run out of ideas of cigars to smoke. There's always something available, it seems.
And just so you know, for us as cigar smokers, for any of you who want to attack us for our cigar preferences, there's a lot of cigars out there on our list that we do want to try eventually, like the New World by A.J. Fernandez, or the Cohiba Black, for example.
Well, we've tried most of the Victor Sinclair line. And those have been pretty decent. Nothing I could complain about.
Nothing to write home to mom about.
Well, the one thing I'd say is they're very, very nicotine rich. Probably the most nicotine rich cigar I've ever had, to the point that it actually made me dizzy because of the amount of nicotine.
Yeah, that's like the Dunhill Nightcap pipe tobacco. That is very enriched in nicotine too. Oh, talking about cigars for a second, we've never tried Davidoff or Dunhill. Savinelli was a really good stick.
Yeah, and then there's a lot that you find on Famous, like the Judge and the Iron Horse and the Orla or something like that. These are all cigars we want to try eventually too. We haven't tried many La Glorias. I've tried 2 of them now.
There's a cigar in Famous. I don't know the brand name, but when you buy it, it comes in a metal tin, and the tin alone looks good. It's like the old-fashioned tins that you get for like cocoa.
It's from La
and
Palencia.
stuff.
I know that. It's from Palencia Cigars. I don't know what type it is, though, offhand. We haven't tried anything from Finska's store yet. Those are mostly house blends.
Yeah, but they have top blenders, too, like Oliva. The Commerce, I would really love to try it. I'm an Oliva fan.
Yes.
So
we still have a long way to go in making reviews, and we've only been smoking cigars now about 3 years, because that's about how long it's been since I quit cigarettes.
I started smoking cigars over 10 years ago, thanks to Erin.
Off and on, now. Sometimes she'd go a year without a cigar, and then some days, sometimes she'd buy a whole bundle and smoke them in the course of like 5 days. But you know, that's kind of changed recently. In fact, some months now she still goes without, and I smoke a bunch. So
only because, as you all know, I'm putting money towards our 4 trips to go and get surgical intervention that's needed. So I'm cutting my own corners.
Mine's beginning to now heat up. That coolness is kind of gone. And I was really hoping that would actually infect the cigar, but it started to go that way. Maybe I start puffing on it too heavily or something. I have no idea.
So, anyways, as you all know, we have some other Cubans to review. So, please look for other videos. I think Aaron said we're all the way up to the 29th of February. So
we got enough cigars to take us to the end of February, which means for once, this is a month in which we did like a cigar review a day. And that is not typical. That's thanks to Valentine's Day and some splurging on our part and setting aside money so that we could supply each other with a good Valentine's Day.
And it was well worth it. And now I just gotta wait for my dozen roses coming from Cigar International, and I will be reviewing it soon.
You better not have.
Why?
Because I want to try it. And there's only one of each stick in that. That's not fair.
Whoops.
I hope she's joking. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Leave comments, concerns, suggestions.
Subscribe, post comments, leave feedback. Thank you, and may God bless you all. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, gentlemen and ladies.